The final chapter begins, as Liu Kang brings his overwhelming army's full strength to unleash hell. I wonder if Titan Kung Lao's millions in the White Lotus Society are here to help too. Chapter 15. Reptile?
What?
Quite the odd way to end your game, but I sure as hell ain't complaining. Okay, here's what actually happened.
Armageddon. Wait, what? What the heck? Whoa! Of course. Oh, there's a different cutscene depending on who you pick. You can pick your own final character. That's kind of awesome.
But before we continue, I have new merch!
Introducing the Ultimate Sonic Ha XD mural, featuring all your favorite characters and memes throughout the years.
You can either get it with just the characters or with the background. But also, I plastered a bunch of Sonic Ha XD memes onto a t-shirt!
Over 40 Sonic Ha XD memes plastered all over a blank canvas, featuring art from 8 different artists, including me.
All of these t-shirt designs are going to be on my new merch site on 4th Wall. Links in the description. And also, if you like any of my old t-shirt designs, like my Kick in a Wheelchair or the Poker Comic Skit, well, they're on there too. So, if you'd like to support the channel and get some awesome looking merch, then check out Sonic Ha XD on 4th Wall. Links in the description. And now, back to this multiversal crap.
So let me set the stage. Both Titan Liu Kang and Titan Shang Tsung have brought their overwhelming army to the pyramid, which if you guys didn't know, the pyramid location is a massive reference to the climax of Transformers 2. Now I'd like to take a look at this crowd from afar. It looks impressive, but once you start to look closely, the magic starts to disappear. Every character on the base roster has a Union of Light variant and an Order of Darkness variant, and that's pretty much 90% of the characters in this cutscene. It's just copy-pasting a bunch of good and bad multiverse variants. Look at how many bald whiteheads you can see here.
A bald.
Now, there are some unique things about this crowd. Default Liu Kang is in the middle. There is only one mature-looking Raiden in the crowd. Janet Cage is on the right side, a gender-bent version of Johnny Cage, who also became a cameo fighter. The Ermacs here are all bald.
A bald.
Even though they have a hoodie the scene before this. Doesn't really matter though, cause they never released this skin anyways. If I had a nickel for every Ermac skin that got scrapped, I found a MK3 Sonia on the left. I have no idea what the f this is, and the coolest thing I found is this group on the bottom left.
Are you ready to save the world?
Yeah! We will prevail!
But before we go, I just gotta say, it's really nice to see all 3 of us back together in the same game, place.
Hell yeah! It feels nice to leave that poker room and stretch our legs a bit. Though, Farah, are you canonically supposed to be here?
Oh please, there's like thousands of people here. No one's gonna think I'm out of place.
We do sense something amiss.
Yes, something doesn't seem right.
Huh. I think I forgot something.
Well, if you forgot it, then it probably wasn't that important.
Yeah, you're probably right.
My lord, your will is done. All abandoned and forgotten characters have gathered here. Per your command, Lord Tor. But of course, he is here.
And here's a pretty odd version of Raiden.
I am proud of you, Liu Kang. You have come such a long way since your first Mortal Kombat tournament, defeating the likes of Shang Tsung and Shao Kahn, to erasing that useless bitch Kronika and reshaping reality for the greater good, to now uniting the good of all the multiverse to stop its many evils. There is but one thing you need to complete your journey. You've been waiting for it all this time. Here are your The fuck? My job's been taken by Fortnite skits. The AI apocalypse is real. Hey, if you buy anything on the Fortnite store, be sure to use code
Sonic Ha XD
at checkout to support starving artists like me, because This guy, oh, this guy. This
Sonic is a beautiful man who makes the best Mortal Kombat videos on all of YouTube. You should all subscribe to Sonic XD. Now I'd like to talk about the characters you can pick for this chapter. There are two types of characters. Characters from Liu Kang's timeline, and multiverse variants. Let's start with the former. We've got Raiden, Scorpion, who doesn't have the Lin Kui badge. Smoke, who still has the Lin Kui badge. Katana, Molina in Tarkat form. Tanya, Sizoff, who got his mask back. Li Mei, Baraka, Geras, Ashra, Johnny Cage, wearing his combat suit, and wearing his sunglasses for the very first time in the story mode. Kenshi, also wearing his combat suit, and Sento is nowhere to be seen. And last but not least, Kung Lao, wearing his default outfit.
What?
You were just wearing your combat suit in chapter 13. Why did you change back to your formal wear? You were so consistent up to this point, yet you just had to fuck it up at the end.
You just threw it away!
Now on to the multiverse characters. Shao Kahn, or General Shell, or just Shell, I don't know. Reiko, Sindel, a good guy version again. Yay. Nitara, Rain, who is the son of Argus in this version.
High praise for the son of Argus.
Havoc, Sub-Zero. I've seen so many fan arts of this version of Bihan, cause he's actually a good guy here. This comic specifically tugs at my heartstrings. And lastly, a Liu Kang that's also a demigod. I honestly was hoping when you picked Liu Kang, you'd be able to play as the main Liu Kang, and he'd climb the pyramid all by himself. Now I'd like to voice a complaint here. Other than Sindel, I wish these multiversal characters were from Liu Kang's timeline. Even if the originals were villains, I'm sure they would gladly help save their own world. This is why I love having Shang Tsung from Liu Kang's timeline be playable in this scenario. There's actually some evidence that suggests that the villains from Liu Kang's timeline were going to be playable here. When selecting Act 4, you can actually see a picture with several villains from Liu Kang's timeline. Sub-Zero, General Shell, and even Nitara. You can also see Scorpion without his scar. And is that Titan Shang Tsung? Never mind. Don't take this as evidence.
It should not exist.
Now there are two special characters I'd like to mention. Quan Chi and Ermac. While they are not playable in chapter 15, you can actually find voice lines of these characters in the game files.
Thank you, Katana.
Impresionante.
Further proof that these two were supposed to be on the base roster. Quan Chi here makes sense, since he joined the good guys back in chapter 12.
Generous words, Liu Kang.
Ermac, however, is a bit more iffy. While yes, King Jared does join the good guys, this is Ermac without King Jared's influence.
We thank you, Liu Kang.
Which doesn't happen until his arcade ending. Overall, being able to pick your own character for the final battle is the best thing about this finale. I literally was just complaining about not being able to choose your character in previous chapters.
A part of me feels like there are a lot of chapters in this game that could have used what the last chapter of this game did. Let you pick other characters, especially that Molina chapter. It's like, not to be rude, but I really don't think Molina deserved that like fight of all those, if you know what I mean. Fighting Sindel, fighting Dark Raiden, and all that kind of stuff. I kind of wish they did this for like the last act of the chapter. It's like, you can pick everyone who went there to fight. That was my complaint. I was like, man, why do they keep making us just play Shang? Why do they just keep making us play Molina? Well, we could have played all the other characters and who they're fighting and stuff like that. And then they actually did it at the end. You actually pick your character to freaking combat and just keep on going up the pyramid of Argus.
And now you get to pick the whole base roster. Yes, this doesn't make sense. Yes, this is stupid. Yes, this fucks up the Mortal Kombat lore. But I can't deny, picking your favorite character to save the day is kinda freaking awesome. After you choose your character, the descriptive audio lady will call your character the hero.
The hero gazes up the pyramid steps.
Titan Shang Tsung then summons a portal.
Behold, Liu Kang, the hell I unleash upon you.
He finally said it, after what Liu Kang said 3 years ago.
We will unleash hell.
It finally happened.
Oh, it's the villain side.
Then the battle begins.
Gotta slowly walk down these stairs. La, 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 la.
Yeah, I love the little run down the stairs. It's actually like how I run down the stairs when I'm in a hurry.
Sindel, why are you holding a stick? I thought you were supposed to be good with a katana. Good guy Shao Kahn will hold his hammer. But if you play as him, he goes back to the axe. Dark Kenshi is holding that Tsugaru here, but you will later see him holding Sento. It's okay. It's okay. It's the multiverse. They can hold whatever the fuck they want. Then they all clash. Now I want you all to look at Smoke here. Then your character shows up and starts beating up everyone on the way. It doesn't matter which character you pick. They will all be doing the same moves. It's cool to be able to see every character in these cutscenes, but it does look weird for some characters. If your character has magical abilities, they will never use it. If your character mainly uses weapons, they will never use it. Here's a list of characters who fit the fighting style the most. Johnny Cage, Reiko, Li Mei, Raiden, Kung Lao, and Liu Kang. The hero will keep fighting, and if you look at the background, you can see Kung Lao throwing very weak punches. Dark Molina will beat 2 characters, then completely ignore your character and pass you. And this is where your first fight commences.
Reptiloids are apex predators.
Lizard Queen? What the heck?
And this is where the second best thing in this entire chapter happens. Hybrid fighters. In chapter 15, you fight randomized fusion characters, and there are over 50 of them. So every player is going to have a different experience playing this chapter. I'm not going to go through every hybrid fighter, so I'm only going to talk about my favorites. The lizard variants obviously, like Lizard Queen and Crocodile.
This will be your final resting place.
Snake.
The Johnny variants are funny, like John Connor and Screen Demon.
I'll write you out of the narrative.
What are you, Johnny? Screen Demon? What the heck is this?
How will it feel to be cancelled?
The Kano variants.
I can't wait for you to rack off and die.
There are also non-fusion characters you can fight, gender-bent versions of the ninjas, Evil Janet Cage, with a different color palette, Ninja Mime, and 2 more characters I'll talk about later. This is honestly super fucking awesome, and makes replaying this chapter very fun, because every fight will be different every time you play. Now let's talk about the stage. There are 3 versions of the stage, and you start off at the bottom, but your character already started climbing the pyramid. I think it's awesome that they finally brought the pyramid back as a playable stage, especially since they referenced it in MK11. Now let me do a lightning round of all the mistakes I noticed in the character portraits. Johnny Cage isn't wearing shades in the portrait. Liu Kang has his default design in the portrait. Reiko won't have any hair in his render.
A bold
Scorpion has no scar. Sub-Zero has no mask. And Sindel is wearing the Order of Darkness outfit. Now I'd like to mention Sento one last time. During the cutscenes, Kenshi won't use Sento and fight barehanded. But once the gameplay starts, Sento will magically spawn on his back. And that is the last time I'll ever mention Kenshi's sword in this game.
What?
I am so happy I don't need to stare at his sword 24/7 ever again. After your character wins, they'll do a very funny run.
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Then you go through your second fight. After that you get chased by a bunch of people. Fun fact. Chapter 15 consists with a lot of pre-render and real-time cutscenes, and when it's an in-game cutscene, I can use Hawk Mod to turn the camera around, and during this scene, you can see that no one is chasing your character anymore. By the way, if you ever want to know when it's a pre-render or real-time cutscene, pick Liu Kang. If his arms aren't on fire, it's pre-rendered, and if they are on fire, it's real-time. Your character will run past and punch a Dark Kenshi. If you pick a female character here, they will kick Dark Kenshi instead. Baraka will have his blades out, so he'll brutally slash Kenshi in the face. Dark Kenshi will kill a good guy Reiko, but the Union of Light Reiko that you can pick looks identical to the one that dies. So if you pick Reiko, it'll just look like Reiko getting killed, then instantly respawning to punch Kenshi. You get ambushed by the next fighter, and now the stage is the middle of the pyramid. After you win, your next opponent is...
What the heck? Ah! Sonia Kato!
If you pick Johnny Cage, this will be his first time meeting his future wife.
Spoilers. Johnny Cage.
If we're talking about evil Sonia, Then I gotta bring up my boy the fourth snake. For some reason, the fourth snake saw this version of Sonia and was like, I'm going to ship her with Janet Cage. And then he commissioned artworks, wrote fan fictions.
I'm taking you out this time, Cage. For dinner?
There will be a scene where the hero grabs Sonia's face to stop her from lasering them. If you pick Shao or Geras, due to the size of their hands, Sonia will laser through them. If you pick Baraka will stab her in the face.
I heard Ronda Rousey's grunts.
You defeat her and move on to the next fight. But in the Switch version, your character will actually kill evil Sonia.
No!
After the next fight, the hero will get ambushed by
Four hammer gorons.
You mind sparing one to General Shell? We get help from a trio of Johnny Cages.
Are we Johnny Cages or Johnny's Cage?
Oh, nice reference. You're good, thank you. And oh no!
I want you all to look at Kenshi in the background. After you win, your next opponent is...
Oh my gosh! It's the Kombat Kids!
And Titan Katana shows up to help.
Under fire, Titan Katana advances.
You what?
Titan Katana advances on
A woman in high-tech armor.
I don't mind.
After Katana wins, the hero will have a unique quote depending on who you pick.
Thank you, Katana.
Katana from Liu Kang's timeline will call Titan Katana sister.
Thank you, sister.
Katana also references meeting Titan Katana in some intro dialogues.
You and my Titan double seemed very familiar.
Why shall remain shrouded in mystery.
Molina will also call her sister.
Thank you, sister.
Sindel will thank her daughter from another timeline.
Well done, daughter.
It's oddly wholesome to see Shao Kahn complimenting Katana.
Nicely done, Katana.
If you pick Tanya, Titan Katana will finally be able to meet Tanya from Liu Kang's timeline.
Are Tanya's of all timelines this evil?
You should meet mine. She's a vast improvement.
Allow me.
Thank you, Katana.
Bihan will be extremely nice and humble.
But Lin Kuei could do no better.
Bihan stands take all the crumbs you can get. Kung Lao will be inspired by Katana for brutally killing his cousin.
I must learn that.
Johnny will make a snarky joke about seeing his future daughter's head in front of him.
Now that's a wrap.
Now I want to give a bit of a highlight to Takeda here. Every character on the base roster has an evil variant, and a good one. And you see them all in chapter 15. And it would look like the Combat Kids are in their Order of Darkness outfits. It does look pretty evil and all. However, Takeda in Liu Kang's timeline is wearing the exact same outfit as the evil version. Takeda is the only exception to the rule on the roster. And the funniest part, Kenshi will thank Katana for killing his cousin.
Thanks, Katana.
Who looks identical to the one from his timeline.
Now I'm even more freaked out.
Now I'd like to highlight the character Kungjin. Unlike Cassie and Jackie, who look like their models come from older games, Kungjin has a completely new design. And even the concept artist shared it on their website. So it was heavily hinted that Kungjin was going to be in Combat Pack 3. But since M1K ended early, we never got Kungjin in the game. And he is the only combat kid who hasn't been playable in the last 10 years. There's something homophobic going on, but I just can't prove it. And the last thing I'll mention here is that there's actually a deleted scene in the game files, showcasing the combat kids kicking ass. Pretty neat. After your character thanks Titan Katana with a warm smile, Katana will get tackled, and your character will have a face of disgust, dread, disappointment. After defeating your next opponent, you'll face...
No, Dark Raiden. Oh wait, it's Kung Lao, what the heck? It's Dark Raiden Kung Lao.
I just realized something. This is the version of Kung Lao if he won in the mini Shaolin tournament back in chapter 3.
You came so close to being Earthrealm's champion.
It would have been awesome. That amulet paired with my hat.
There will be a part where your character redirects Kung Lao's palm to his own chest. But if you play as Baraka, he'll just fucking stab him. After you defeat your next fighter, Titan Shang Tsung and Titan Quan Chi will toss a giant fireball towards a hero, which prompts your character to have a very shocked reaction. Then you get ambushed by...
Oh my gosh! The Molina army?
Multiple Molinas. This is Tanya's wet dream. Nightmare. Baraka has been showing his blades for the majority of the chapter, but he actually puts them away during this scene, so that he can showcase his British skills. Raiden and Kung Lao will lose their hat in this scene, so their hats won't no-clip to the ground during Test Your Might. It's really funny seeing Shao and Geras here, because they're so huge, and seeing them grab Molina's tiny arms in size looks really goofy. Then you get to Test Your Might, and it looks really funny to see Shao and Geras struggle with their gigantic arms. Every single character will have a super exaggerated expression. Thanks for the YouTube thumbnail face.
Easy. Revenge for Kenshi.
That's how it feels!
Molina is dead. Also blinded, the Deadly Alliance will try to blast you again, but a good version of Shang Tsung and Quan Chi will come and assist you. It's nice to know that despite everyone saying that Shang Tsung is an irredeemable evil person,
in all previous timelines, you betrayed her.
Somewhere out there is a good version of him that exists.
And Quan Chi too.
Hurry, Sonia XD. You are almost there.
They name drop me! They name drop me!
Then they get killed. So sad. Their sacrifice will not be in vain. Anyways, now get ready to fight good Shang Tsung.
What?
I suppose being the ultimate traitor after you just sacrificed yourself is on brand.
How the turntables.
And I saved the best opponent for last. LK72, also known as Cyber Smoke. One of the coolest skins they could have added for Smoke. And yet NRS doesn't like money, so we never got this skin. Also, look at what the hardest CPU can do with his combos.
He's already dead!
After defeating Cyber Smoke, who is kind of cheeked up, you meet up with Liu Kang.
That boom saying that the ending is gonna be like bonkers. Is that Jax? Is that like the sexy Jax?
Is that Frost? Only a little further, size off. Follow me.
Okay, Liu Kang, my best friend. Hehe.
And now we've reached the top of the pyramid, preparing for your final fight.
Realize, sorcerer, that you've brought this on yourself. Avarice and ego have again proved your undoing.
This part is especially funny if you picked Shang Tsung.
Avarice and ego have again proved your undoing.
Avarice and ego? Couldn't be me.
It is you who will be eradicated. You and your followers.
You and me, size off? I feel like I'm playing Sonic Forces, you know what I mean?
Together we
Yeah! Let's go! Dun, 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 dun.
Shang Tsung will scratch your boots. Like, straight up. I don't know how else to explain this move. If you pick a male character, they'll even cover their pecs. It looks especially funny if the character isn't wearing any clothes. They look devastated that Shang Tsung would do that. Your character gets knocked out. If you pick Raiden or Kung Lao, unfortunately their hats will no-clip through the ground. It's too bad they didn't remove their hats like they did when fighting the Molinas. Now I'd like to give a special shout out to a character I haven't mentioned throughout this entire chapter. Nitara. Going into this, I thought I was going to have a good time laughing at how bad her wings are gonna look in this chapter. But surprisingly, they actually look great. It turns out NRS gave special treatment to her, and actually did extra work for her wings throughout the chapter. When she gets knocked out by Shang Tsung, she actually will have her wings wrap around her character. A very cool detail. There's more care put into Nitara's wings here than her vocal direction. And now Liu Kang's got to take on the Deadly Alliance again. And just as Liu Kang is about to give the finishing blow, He seriously charges his punch for like 3 seconds here. Quan Chi tangos Liu Kang with a giant magical snake.
Reptile's big snake. Oh my goodness.
Isn't that supposed to be Shang Tsung's thing? And now it's up to the hero to save the multiverse. If you picked Shao or Geras, they'll be too big for the frame, and their faces will get cut out.
The question you must ask is,
are you gonna do this again?
If Liu Kang couldn't finish us, how possibly could you?
This is a fanfiction fight, baby!
This line is especially funny if you picked Liu Kang.
If Liu Kang couldn't finish us, how possibly could you?
Huh?
The final boss of this game kinda sucks. It's just Shang Tsung with a lame Quan Chi Kamiya fighter. Heck, it's even less than that. Titan Shang Tsung never even uses Age Morph, which I guess means that's a move-based universe Shang Tsung created himself. Good job, I guess. Every NRSMK game has had a unique final boss you get to fight, so this especially sucks when you compare this boss to them.
Roll the windows up. What's going on? Roll the windows up, hurry! It's f***ing crashed! He's broke, he's homeless, he's gonna try to ask for money.
In Towers of Time, if you pick the arcade tower and get to the end, you fight Titan Shang Tsung, but this version of him has the ability to morph into the classic ninjas. That's way cooler than what we got. Why don't they just turn this version of Shang Tsung into the final boss? Whatever, you defeat this loser, Liu Kang will complement your character.
And they called me the chosen one.
And every character will have a unique response.
I am honored, Liu Kang. The tribe will feast on this praise. You honor me, Liu Kang.
Get your crumbs behind stands.
Very kind, Liu Kang. May we end this?
This is just Megan Fox asking to leave the sound booth.
Very kind, Liu Kang. May we end this?
You have done more than enough. Please permit me to end this.
Oh, but I want to vor them.
And then Liu Kang Thanos snaps the Deadly Alliance away.
I absolve you of your sins. You have been forgiven.
Then the timelines start to collapse.
What's wrong, Liu Kang? Yeah, that's not good.
By the gods!
By the Elder Gods!
If you pick Shao or Geras, due to how big their models are, they will no-clip through the ground during this scene. Liu Kang will thank you, then send you back to your timeline. And that's pretty much the crazy pyramid climb in chapter 15. I can go on with even more details and speculations, but I don't want this video to become me fangirling over every reptile variant. If you want more interesting facts for this chapter, I'd recommend the 4th Snakes video behind the magic of chapter 15.
NetherRealm story modes are all smoke and mirrors. No, not that kind.
Now I'd like to pose a question to wrap this section up. Who is the winner? Who canonically defeated Titan Shang Tsung and Titan Quan Chi? We really don't have much additional information to go off of. In Raiden's arcade ending, Titan Raiden saves Raiden at the pyramid. So does that mean Raiden can't be the winner? In the story mode select, you can see Scorpion in the screenshots when selecting a story part. So does that mean NRS thinks Scorpion is the winner? We don't know, and I think that's the beauty of chapter 15. Anyone can be the winner. Have a favorite MK character? Pick them to win. Pissed your character never got a chapter? Pick them here. You are not happy with how they handle the villains? Play them yourself. Want Kenshi to get blinded again? Do it. Like I said earlier on, I think the freedom of choice is the best thing about this chapter. And like I stated in my chapter 14 video, the power scaling issues are a lot more forgiving when the decision is given to the player. I myself chose to have a puny little lizard man defeat the almighty Titan Shang Tsung, and I'm happy. So now I'm going to change the question. Who should win? Who is the best character to pick to win? From lore, motivation, and power scaling, I ranked every single character on the roster to see who deserves the compliment from Liu Kang at the end.
And they called me the chosen one.
Note that I'm not actually going to go through every single character, just the top 7. But if you do want to know my reasonings for every character, you can pause the video here to read them. Number 7. Raiden. He's the main character of the first act. He's Liu Kang's chosen one. He's got main character energy. I think it's pretty straightforward, but it's also kind of boring.
Raiden is infuriatingly humble.
So that's why he's only number 7.
You honor me, Liu Kang.
Number 6. Liu Kang. If I'm Liu Kang, and I needed someone strong, and there's an infinite amount of timelines to pick from, why would I not just pick myself? Liu Kang is canonically really strong in the MK universe, and this version of Liu Kang is either a demigod or a titan. So power scaling wise, I think Multiverse Liu Kang is the best choice.
Glad to live up to your example.
Number 5. Sindel. Out of all the multiverse characters, I think she's the one that works the best. Because her counterpart was murdered. Picking Sindel to me makes me feel like I'm honoring the one that passed away. That even though she's not here to fight, her warrior's soul lives on through the other Sindel. Even though her soul is literally in her Mac right now, but that's besides the point.
To each timeline its own.
Number 4. Kung Lao. I just think it's cool to have the original Shaolin monks work together again. And since Kung Lao gets disrespected so much in this franchise,
Liu Kang Light.
I think it's great to have the descendant of the great Kung Lao get the win here.
It is because they never met me.
Number 3. Shell. This is more of a personal pick, but like I stated in my chapter 11 video, I want to see a good guy Shao Kahn. Maybe he will still be ruthless and stern, but his motives will be more just and noble. And Shao in chapter 15 is the closest we'd get to that. But the main reason I put him this high is because if you want someone to successfully climb the pyramid, then why not pick the one who has successfully climbed it in the past?
He must win. Did you expect less from me?
Number 2. Geras. There's a multitude of reasons as to why Geras is a great pick. He's been Liu Kang's right-hand man throughout the entire game. He's been the most involved in the multiverse plot. He hasn't had his own chapter. His powers can probably rival that of a titan. And what better person to defeat a titan than someone who's been with two? And lastly, in Geras' arcade ending, Liu Kang makes him his successor. So what better way to prove himself than to beat Titan Shang Tsung?
I am privileged to serve.
Honestly, Geras winning in chapter 15 was always my headcanon, due to how much it just fits. That is until I thought of the actual best candidate. Number 1. Shang Tsung. Motive-wise, Shang Tsung definitely wants revenge for getting betrayed by Titan Shang Tsung. Power level-wise, Titan Shang Tsung turned Shang Tsung from a snake oil salesman to a powerful sorcerer. So if anyone knew how the master worked, it would be the student.
It couldn't be more potent.
But the main reason why Shang Tsung is the best pick is because of deception.
What?
In my chapter 12 video, I talked about how the Titan Shang Tsung twist is similar to the Onaga twist in Conquest mode. Shujinko was approached by Damashi for a grand quest, but by the end, Damashi betrays Shujinko for his own goals. Except, this is not the full story. In order for you to complete this tale, you need to pick Shang Tsung. In Deception, after Onaga returns, Shujinko came up with a plan. Shujinko had the power to absorb the fighting ability of any warrior he encountered. So he united a bunch of legendary MK characters, absorbed their powers, and used them to defeat Onaga. But the biggest kicker out of all this is that this absorption power Shujinko has was given to him by Onaga himself.
I will bestow upon you a great power, the ability to absorb the fighting skills from any fighter you encounter. This will give you the edge you will need on your quest.
Onaga had given me the power to absorb the fighting ability of any warrior I encountered, but his gift would prove to be his undoing.
Shujinko being manipulated was how the whole situation started. But what Damashi gave to Shujinko will also be his ultimate downfall. In Mortal Kombat 1, after Titan Shang Tsung betrays Shang Tsung, Shang immediately joins Liu Kang's side. Even though every fiber in Liu Kang's body is telling him not to work with Shang Tsung, Liu Kang makes a gamble and trusts Shang Tsung. And if you pick Shang Tsung in chapter 15, that gamble pays off. Shang Tsung being manipulated was how the whole situation started. But what Damashi gave to Shang Tsung will also be his ultimate downfall.
That's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
Shang Tsung is the best pick in chapter 15, and it's not even close.
You are magnanimous, Liu Kang.
Just kidding. Number 1 is obviously Reptile baby. Reptile saves the Mortal Kombat franchise. I'm gonna vote Titan Shang Tsung. Now I'm gonna give my final thoughts for Armageddon. From a lore perspective, this is, without a doubt, One of the worst things to happen in the Mortal Kombat franchise. An infinite amount of multiverse characters hodgepodging in a messy battle, where things don't make sense. But all that matters is that this multiverse finale has to be big. Bigger than any other finale we've done. As long as we shove a bunch of stuff on the big screen, this will be the best ending ever.
What's going on? Why don't they like it? We spent $250 million on this!
This multiverse isn't even that cool. The intro to Armageddon was amazing and iconic, because every character in the Mortal Kombat franchise was in it. Every character on the battlefield is a different character, and it makes the intro very fun and rewatchable. In M1K, all I see are a bunch of bold people. I sure love seeing Multiverse Kenshi showing up the dozenth time in this. If they are going to commit to something as stupid as the multiverse, then can they actually commit? Give us multiverse references from previous Mortal Kombat games and medias, and not just Ctrl-C Ctrl-V all over my screen. The trio of Cages and Combat Kids were cute, but it's not enough to justify the damn multiverse. In Chapter 12, wasn't it established that the battle between two titans ripped apart time's fabric and created two timelines? So how many new timelines have been created because of the battle at the pyramid? Look, I can go on and on about how bad this battle is. The multiverse has infinite possibilities, which means I can complain about infinite mistakes. But the point is, this chapter is extremely fucking stupid. And I had fun. What? I actually had fun climbing the pyramid. I had fun seeing what crazy stuff would be thrown at me on every turn. I mainly think that the roster selection and hybrid fighters carried this chapter for me. But still, it's not like this redeems any of the multiverse shit. I would need this battle to be on par with Miles Morales going against the Spider Society for me to even consider forgiving the MK multiverse. Overall, from a story perspective, this sucks ass, but from a gameplay, fanfiction, and vibe perspective, I kind of liked it. We cut to the tea house, where our heroes celebrate their victory. They start dumping a lot of exposition on us. Johnny Cage plans to make a movie about how they defeated Titan Shang Tsung. Raiden and Kung Lao are going back to the Wuxi Academy to train the new initiates. Kenshi continues to help his Tyra clan. Liu Kang mentions that Queen Molina is being advised by King Jared and Katana. All the Outworld villains are in Lei Chin prison. The Lin Kui have abandoned their roles as Earthrealm's guardians. You guys really should have locked up Ki-Han. And now Kiwai Liang will form a new clan to take its place.
The Shira Rayu.
I clapped!
Understood that reference. Liu Kang takes his leave to check up on Scorpion's clan.
There's only one thing left to do. Which one of you gets the bad news?
Not me. If you look at the check, you can actually see the price of the meal. And it's about $35. That is incredibly cheap for 5 people.
They did invite us.
You think we have money?
I just realized something. Did Liu Kang leave early so that he didn't need to pay? And that is the end of Mortal Kombat 1. The credits roll, with a rap song. OMG look ma. I made it. I'm referenced in Mortal Kombat. They show some concept art in the credits. There's a desert that Kenshi and the gang walk through. Maybe it was going to be a playable stage. The Temple of Kataravala, with someone who isn't Adam. Maybe the temple was going to be a real place instead of a movie set. Then we get the after credit scene. We head back to the pyramid, where now it's a giant reference to Mortal Kombat 9.
Is that Frost?
We get introduced to our new villain group. Kitanya, Quan Zero, Kangxi, and Titan Havik. Havik has now gained the knowledge of the multiverse, and is now ready to bring chaos to everyone. I remember people being excited for this new Havik, because it's finally gonna be the real Havik, instead of that loser in Liu Kang's timeline. But here's my reaction to this new Havik.
You took too long.
What are you saying?
I'm saying you took too long.
If NRS could give us the real Havik all along, then why didn't they start off that way? After seeing how bad the first attempt was, instead of feeling excited for Titan Havik, I just feel fatigued. Also, this is a Havik who created his own timeline, and not the real Havik from Chaos Realm fans actually want. So it's quite hard for me to get excited.
The next time.
Okay. I don't know. It's not really exciting in my opinion. No offense, that's not really exciting. Because the entire ending is just a bunch of these alternate versions of these characters with different skins and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, alternate Havoc.
Okay, I shouldn't be so judgmental. It is quite refreshing to have Havoc be the main villain. And who knows, maybe he will be a fun villain. And that is the actual end of Mortal Kombat 1. I'm not satisfied. I want to know what happened to the rest of the cast after the events of Chapter 15. Luckily, the game actually has an epilogue for every single character, in the form of the arcade endings. NRS has confirmed that the arcade endings are canon this time, and that they plan to expand the story based off of them. So I'm going to check out every single arcade ending, to see how the base roster is doing. Some of these endings will connect to others, so I'll try my best to keep it cohesive, and group them by their connections. Let's start off in Earthrealm, and talk about the Shira
Rayu.
In Scorpion's ending, Qi Liang and Thomas are being hunted by Bihan and the Lin Kui. Really should have just locked him up, you idiots. By the way, in every appearance Scorpion has in these arcade endings, he will not have the scar, and he'll still have the Lin Kui badge.
Kuai Liang will pay for his betrayal.
The brothers flee to Japan to look for Qi Liang's childhood friend, Harumi. Yup. Hanzo Hasashi's wife from the previous timelines, and she and Qi Liang are lovers.
Get out of here!
This is one of the reasons why Scorpion haters stands exist now. Anyways, the three of them then form the Shira Rayu. In Smoke's ending, Thomas gets attacked by a boy. Is he holding a fucking sword? He recruits the boy, and the boy's name is Hanzo Hasashi. I will rant about this whole situation later. In Sub-Zero's ending, he contemplates on how to make the Lin Kui stronger. In his SDR pose, he gets inspired by the Dragon Army and starts the Cyber Initiative. And because Bihan brings up Sector here,
once again proving the depths of Sector's genius.
Many people assume that this scientist character is Sector. I guess we'll find out in the future. Now I'm going to take a bit of a detour and break down a character who hasn't appeared in the story mode. Let's break it down. Takeda? Yup, Takeda exists in this universe, but how is that possible? Takeda is Kenshi's son in the previous timeline. So how does it work here? Some people guess that this Takeda might be a time traveler, a multiverse variant, or maybe he somehow came from the MK11 universe, but no. The answer is that Takeda in this timeline is Kenshi's cousin.
I'm gonna do it.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna do it. Do it!
He did it.
When I initially heard about this, I felt disgusted. Like I actually felt uncomfortable that Kenshi's son is now his cousin. Let me break it down for you, Mark. In the previous timeline, Hanzo Hasashi had a wife and child named Harumi and Satoshi. Hanzo was also the mentor of Takeda, who is the son of Kenshi. And in M1K, Qi Liang is married to Hirumi, and Hanzo is pretty much their adoptive son they picked up from the streets. Takeda is now Kenshi's cousin, and Hanzo looks up to Takeda like a big brother.
Hanzo was asking after me?
You became a big brother, Takeda.
This is also fucked. I feel like I just went through a Game of Thrones episode.
So, their son will be your nephew, and you will be
Qi Liang's
brother-in-law. When you marry
Qi Liang, Hanzo's wife,
will become his mother, and your son will be
Thomas's
nephew. I'm not sure, but
Satoshi
will become
Hanzo's brother-in-law.
That much is beyond dispute.
Family members being swapped around in this timeline is probably one of the worst changes to happen. Except for Molina being Katana's biological sister. I quite like that change. Anyways, that's actually talk about the character Takeda. Like Kenshi, Takeda was also raised in the Yakuza, and he was pissed when Kenshi left, so he tried to kill him, but failed, and then Takeda was heavily wounded. However, Kenshi did not want to kill his cousin, so he brought him to the Shira Rayu to treat his wounds. Takeda started liking his life in the new clan, and now he's a good guy, and wants to stop the Yakuza, and that leads into his arcade ending. Takeda finds out that the real mastermind behind the Yakuza is the Red Dragon, and their leader Dagon, who might be related to Rain.
Movado, Dagon? Those names mean anything to you?
I have a half-brother named Dagon.
Takeda's new goal now is to take down the Red Dragon. Is that a motherfucking dragon? And is Mavado dead? Honestly, this ending is the perfect idea for a spin-off game. Imagine taking down the Yakuza Shaolin monks style. The next ending I'll be talking about, believe it or not, is Raiden. During the pyramid fight, Raiden was saved by Titan Raiden. Bro, you have got to stop losing to Dark Khan. This prompted Raiden to ask Liu Kang why he was not a demigod in this universe.
Why was I made mortal?
The reason is cause Liu Kang wants to replace Raiden's old job as protector of Earthreal. Just kidding. The real reason is cause Liu Kang is worried about triggering Dark Raiden, and making Raiden mortal prevents that. So Raiden is like, bitch, this power was promised to me 3,000 years ago, and so he wants to activate these powers from rage.
The rage!
So who better to teach him how to be angry than Kuai Liang's Scorpion?
Excuse me?
Scorpion is all about rage in the previous timelines, but I don't really think rage is one of Kuai Liang's character qualities.
Respectfully, no.
In Kung Lao's ending, Kung Lao has a new student, Shujinko, who has the ability to absorb anyone's powers and skills. Somehow Kung Lao's teachings were too arrogant, and it somehow created a supervillain. And now they have to stop Shujinko. Is that Raiden with a staff? They defeat him, and Liu Kang takes away his abilities and memories. Wait, Liu Kang can just do that?
Bro, I knew you were dark, but did you have to go full Sith Lord?
And Kung Lao now learns to be more humble. I kinda hate this ending. Like, sure, Kung Lao can be cocky, but it shouldn't be enough to create a super weapon. We followed Kung Lao throughout this story. We see that he's a good person, and yet this ending kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Also, I want to highlight this line he says here.
He will become the champion he is destined to be.
Oddly specific wording there, buddy. In Johnny Cage's ending, when he said he was going to make a movie about their adventures, it was actually due to the request of Liu Kang. Liu Kang wants to ease the people of Earthrealm into the crazy MK universe, and so that's what Johnny Cage is working on. You can actually see some funny intro dialogues, where he films the MK characters.
Ugh, why did I agree to let your film crew in the palace?
Is there a point to this fight, Cage?
What? It's an audition! Oh my god, I'm gonna kill my assistant.
Why cast me in your movie?
Oh, you got the wholesome sidekick thing down cold. Time for your close-up. Camera's rolling.
It will capture your final act.
Even though Kenshi rejected being an actor for Johnny.
I need a blind swordsman, and no actor can do what you do.
I would love to, but my work to revive the Tyra is starting to pay off. I can't let up now.
There are multiple intro dialogues where Kenshi does act a part in Johnny's movies.
Come on, Johnny. 40 takes is enough.
We don't rap until it's perfect.
In Kenshi's ending, Kenshi meets Jax. Then they randomly get ambushed by Shang Tsung.
It blew his mind to hear that the stories in Johnny's movies were real.
They then established the OIA, Outward Investigation Agency. I wonder if Johnny's movies helped out with creating this organization. Hey look, it's the Collector.
Nothing but cheap bravado.
In Ashra's ending, Ashra has found a home in the Shaolin monks. Give us the Shaolin outfit for Ashra, you cowards. But then she remembers about Serena, and how she's still mind controlled by Quan Chi. So Ashra saves her, and now Serena is canonically a good guy again.
Together, we have formed the Order of Light.
What? What the fuck is the Order of Light? You can't just spout words and expect us to understand. So after doing some research, here's my surmise. The Order of Light is a clan that fights for Earthrealm. In the older games, the Order of Light co-founded the White Lotus, so maybe some Shaolin monks are in Ashra's clan? We don't know. I guess we should just get excited that Ashra said a reference and move on.
Demons!
Now let's move on to the Outworld side of things. There's a scene showing 3 characters getting knighted by Queen Molina, so I'll try to talk about the endings revolving around them first. Let's start with Katana, which actually leads me to General Shell. He escapes Lech in prison, and now starts a war against Queen Molina. There's also an interesting comment on Sindel's golden age here.
Outworld's golden age has left more than a few behind.
It sure is a golden age if you ignore the poor. Shao was also able to recruit Tarkatans and Zaterans.
I doubt any Tarkatan would follow you.
How poorly you know your people, Baraka.
You've been gathering Zaterrans to your side.
I welcome all who have been ignored by the royal family.
Maybe this is where Tarkatan's Zaterrans come from.
There are afflicted Zaterrans among you.
There's no Outworld race that isn't.
In Reiko's ending, while Shao is boasting how great things are going, Reiko is singing a different tune.
Rebuilding my army will require finding new recruits, and that task is proving easier than expected.
Though many were eager recruits, few were good at soldiering. It was so bad, the general was forced to change tactics.
So Shao needs a backup plan. His family sealed the ultimate doomsday weapon, the Dragon King Onaga. Onaga. Shao would never dare tame Onaga, but because they are desperate, Shao sends Reiko.
What? Why?
The man with no powers, fights hand-to-hand combat, and he's going to take on the Dragon King. And you wanna know the funniest thing? Reiko actually won.
You tamed Onaga?
Taming Onaga is a dangerous task.
It is a miracle you survived, Onaga.
No, it was tenacity and skill.
No one you fought has prepared you for me.
I've tamed Onaga. Taming you will be child's play.
Hey yo, what the?
Taming you.
This is extremely stupid, but honestly, good for you, man. You kinda deserve at least one win in this story, and it just might be the most impactful one. Speaking of Onaga, I don't really like how they handled Onaga here. Fans have been begging for the return of Onaga for years, and NRS is like, fine bitch, here's your entrance. Bye. I feel like NRS has no interest in this character, and we're probably not going to see much from him anytime soon. There's something scalophobic about this, but I just can't prove it. And now we finally move on to Katana's ending. She becomes the commander of Outworld's military, and beats the shit out of Shao's army. That's all. Now let's move on to Li Mei. Which leads me to talk about Tanya's ending first. Tanya has a flashback to Li Mei in chapter 10, and is Li Mei holding a fucking sword? Tanya sees how great of a person Li Mei is.
But those stories didn't fit the woman I now knew. Li Mei would never have been so negligent.
Even though it didn't feel that way in the chapter itself.
Are you so easily taken in by lies?
And this inspires Tanya to learn the truth about King Jared's murder, and she finally finds out about the truth.
I uncovered the truth. The failures and mistakes which led to the Emperor's murder, they resulted from poor decisions made by the Matron Superior themselves.
Huh? Oh, come on! You gotta admit this is cool!
Respectfully, no.
Of course, the Matron Superior, our favorite clan that has totally been mentioned multiple times in the story mode. Did you know that the Matron Superior are the leaders of the Arcadi? I didn't. The Matron Superior get arrested, and Molina makes Tanya the new Matron Superior. She is now the leader of the Arcadi. Yay. I want to feel happy for you, Tanya, but from my perspective, you failed to protect Queen Sindel, and now you got a promotion.
My ribs.
Now on to Li Mei's ending. Thanks to Tanya's ending,
They made Li Mei their scapegoat.
Li Mei has now been completely forgiven. The impossible mountain Li Mei needed to climb has been completely conquered. Molina appoints Li Mei to become the leader of the Imperial Police. And what are the Imperial Police, you ask?
Outworld's internal security.
Cool. So like, where the fuck were they during chapter 10 and 11 when the royal family were being attacked? Internal security my ass. However, the reason why they didn't show up might be because the Imperial Police are actually politicians.
I'm not cut out to be a bureaucrat, nor am I patient enough to navigate the Imperial Court's politics.
Okay. Don't know why Outworld's internal security are more into politics, but sure. Hold it. There's actually a contradiction to this. Let's move on to Shang Tsung's ending for now. Shang Tsung escapes Leichin prison.
How did you escape confinement?
I am a shapeshifter, my boy.
And who are the ones chasing after Shang Tsung?
I was hounded by the Imperial Police.
What? Li Mei, with a sword, and wearing a different outfit, chasing after Shang Tsung? That doesn't seem really political to me.
Nor am I patient enough to navigate the Imperial Court's politics.
So which is it? Security guard? Bureaucrat? Or both? guarding prisoners and debating about Tarkatan rights.
Oh.
Anyways, Shang Tsung tries to escape on a boat, but gets drafted onto a mysterious island with the Well of Souls. This probably explains how Shang Tsung appears in Kenshi's ending. Shang Tsung also might be hosting a certain tournament on the island.
I'm hosting a tournament. You should come.
This tournament has no rules.
You'll do no better in Mortal Kombat.
Li Mei reads the script of M1K and instantly decides to quit the Imperial Police and goes back to being first constable in Syzoth's ending. Syzoth was also training in the Shaolin with Ashura. Give us the Shaolin outfit for Syzoth, you cowards. Then one day, he got a call from Queen Molina to become Outworld's emissary to the Zaterrans. He accepted it, but that meant leaving Ashura behind.
Must you return to Outworld?
Yes, Ashura. I have been appointed the Empress's emissary.
Syzoth was welcomed back to Zaterra, and I noticed everyone is wearing clothes. Does that mean Syzoth is naked whenever he turns into his lizard form? Syzoth then finds the script of M1K. Syzoth then finds out that his shape-shifting abilities aren't unique to him.
Many Zaterrans are born with it, but are killed by their government to keep it from spreading.
This changes Syzoth's character drastically, from finding his own place in this world where he's different from everyone, to now revealing the truth for his Zaterran minorities, fighting against oppression and xenophobia. Whoa, careful there, Syzoth. The grifters are gonna start hating you. Now I'm gonna talk about both Baraka and Molina's ending. Baraka needs help with the Tarkatan colony, so he asks for Syzoth's help. Syzoth takes a break from being a freedom fighter to help organize a meeting with Queen Molina. Molina never knew how bad it was at the colony. And you want to know something messed up? One of the punishments on par with death is to send a normal person to the Tarkatan colony. Sindel definitely knew how fucked up it was over there.
This was one of my mother's few mistakes.
Sindel apologizes for her treatment of your kind. It took death for her to comprehend her error.
And thus, Molina decides to reveal her Tarkat affliction to the public.
My honesty, empathy, and resolve won over my remaining doubters.
And she was also able to help better the colony. Now we move on to Havik's ending. Havik made a deal with Quan Chi to destroy Saido, but since it's Quan Chi, the plan didn't go through. Rain suddenly shows up. I suppose he also escaped Lei Chin prison. Is Havik holding a fucking mace? Rain is on the run from Queen Molina, and he needs a safe haven. Havik agrees to help him, in exchange for Rain to destroy Saido. Two things I want to bring up. Number 1. Out of all the people Rain could have picked to have provide a safe place for him, he picked Havik.
If one more person demands I explain myself.
Number 2. Sanctuary for a destroyed city. This deal seems very unfair for Rain. Anyways, Rain conjures at Tsunami and destroys Saido. Dude didn't win a single fight in the story mode, and now all of a sudden he decided to lock the fuck in for genocide. Havik is now very happy, and I guess Terry Yus is cheering for them in the background or something. I really don't get what NRS is trying to do with Havik. They write him to be a freedom fighter for the people.
My people are finally free. They can chart their own course, needing only to follow their own desires. Their lives are now blessed by anarchy.
And yet, he's saying this while killing the people he's trying to save. What did NRS mean by this? In Rain's ending, Rain actually feels remorse for his actions and decides to turn himself in. This is probably the most interesting thing Rain has ever done in the last 30 years. Li Mei is still holding a sword, and Tanya is holding Tanfas. We could have had Tanya actually resemble Tanya.
Once again, you prove incapable.
In Nitara's ending, the Coven blames Nitara because she advocated for Quan Chi's help. But didn't Quan Chi put a spell on all vampires to allow them to walk in the sun?
Because of Quan Chi's magic, my realm's people are no longer poisoned by sunlight.
And yet they still hate him and blame Nitara?
Idiot.
Nitara comes up with a new plan. Capture humans, and have them breed for food stacks. Welp. See you 10 years later. Nitara. In Sindel's ending, Sindel and Jared try to fight the souls in Ermac's body, in order to gain control of it. They fail. So in Ermac's ending, the collective take back control of Ermac's body, but they need Quan Chi's magic to fix their body. So they free him from Lei Chin prison. Which, by the way, this means that every single villain who was locked up here has escaped. Maybe you shouldn't have had politicians guarding this place. Quan Chi tries to enslave Ermac again, but Ermac doesn't know you, and beats Quan Chi. And now Ermac is on a journey of self-discovery. Ermac might also be at the Tarkatan colony based off an intro dialogue.
You wish to reside in the colony? While among you, we will not be disturbed.
In Quan Kai's ending, Quan Chi wants to become stronger so that he can defeat Liu Kang. That's all. In Liu Kang's ending, Liu Kang talks about how he'll need a successor, and he decides to make Geras his heir. In Geras' ending, after finding out about the multiverse, Geras found a way to survey all timelines. In order to prevent potential danger, he basically became the Watcher. Yo Geras, what do the millions in the White Lotus Society look like? And that is a summary of all 26 endings. However, there is one last place I can gain additional information. Let's do this one last time. Welcome to the Double ID, interesting intro dialogues, where we look at character intro dialogues to gain more information about the current chapter we're on. These are the last interesting intro dialogues I could find related to the future of this franchise, so enjoy this final montage. There seems to be a conspiracy with the great Kung Lao.
Could I have? I would have saved your storied ancestor.
You were there when he died?
Liu Kang seems to be hiding something about him.
Why are the great Kung Lao's victories hidden?
The world is not yet ready to know them.
Havik's next step in his grand scheme is to rebuild the ruined city.
Saido is destroyed. Now what? It's time to rebuild and rechristen its Chaos Realm.
There's a theory going around that since Saido was destroyed by a flood, the survivors will worship water, just like how they did in the old timeline.
You have a problem with ice? Water must flow freely, Sub-Zero.
Water is useless against chaos.
Water is chaos.
The Black Dragon exists in this timeline.
Kuai Liang says I shouldn't trust the Black Dragon.
In this, as in all timelines, they are scoundrels.
Kenshi tried asking help from them.
You have been warned about the Black Dragon.
Don't worry. I know what I'm doing.
And now he warns Takeda not to trust them.
Learn from my mistakes. Do not trust the Black Dragon.
They mentioned the Void, a vast nothingness between realms.
The Void awaits you and Shang Tsung.
He will hold me no better than Lei Chin.
That's not a high bar to pass. The Temple of Elements was mentioned.
You will not enter the Temple of the Elements.
I will have the power you've locked away inside.
The Kamidogus were referenced.
Your thoughts on the ancient scrolls I found.
The Kamidogu they speak of can't be real.
Queen Molina is planning to build a Colosseum.
It worries me that Molina builds a Colosseum.
Why? Do Earthrealmers not have sports?
There is a person named Countess Jade.
Have you any concerns about Katana's new acquaintance?
Countess Jade? Not in the least.
And Liu Kang wants Katana to be involved.
Keep Countess Jade close. She is critical to your future.
Is it possible you could be more cryptic?
There is a Shaolin master named Master Kai.
Master Kai speaks highly of your skills.
He honors me with his praise.
A Sidon refugee named Hotaru is mentioned.
Produce Hotaru or watch Outworld burn.
Sidon refugees will not be returned.
Kung Lao has a cousin.
My cousin, Kung Jin, is fascinated by the Yakuza.
Do whatever it takes to quash that interest.
A woman named Suchin is mentioned.
Suchin wants me back.
You made as strong an impression as she did.
Chitons exist in this universe.
What's this I hear about an outworld race of insectoids?
The Kaitin. Pray, you never meet one.
The Tengu clan are mentioned here.
First the Tengu, now the Shira Rayu.
Inferior clans who will fall to the Lin Kuei.
Goro's father is mentioned.
The Shokan delegation has arrived early.
Oh, King Gorba can wait till we're through.
Johnny Cage has a brother.
You know, my big brother was an asshole too. One of the few things we have in common.
There's a person named Jackie.
I've got this friend Jackie. I think she'd dig you.
Is she Hollywood too? Ugh.
Charon the boatman is mentioned.
Charon can find the hourglass, can't he?
The boatman would never lead you to it.
Titan Onaga is actually mentioned twice.
Yet another timeline threatens us.
This one created by a Titan Onaga. Titan Onaga is the most powerful yet.
We will defeat him, Geras.
And last but not least, Johnny has a peculiar nickname for Bihan.
You can't match my experience. Hey, I'm not the noob here.
And that's all the double IDs I've got. I'm sure there are more that I missed out on. But overall, these are the final double IDs I have to share. Okay, I might be hiding a couple more when I talk about a certain deity. While chapter 15 felt overwhelming, the ending was a bit lackluster. So the epilogue they gave definitely filled the hole the ending left me with. However, this does leave one big issue. That is a ton of stuff they set up for the future. And even if we take away intro dialogues, cause they can be less canon, that's still a lot of changes to the universe that happens in the arcade endings. I guarantee you that not even half of these will be mentioned in the next game. Let's hope NRS will commit to some of these, and not pull another Dark Raiden. Now I'm going to talk about something that is a bit more arbitrary, but since it's technically a story mode in the game, I suppose I'll mention it. Invasions mode.
Invasion?
The idea of this mode is that after the events of chapter 15, more evil timelines wanna come over and attack Liu Kang's timeline.
And you gotta help us!
This mode is not canon. There is no way it can be canon, and if NRS one day decides to make this canon, I will forever point and laugh at them for how ridiculous that is. Now I'm gonna speedrun all 8 seasons and each of their stories. And just FYI, even though the characters look identical to the Order of Darkness characters in the story mode, they are completely different characters. In Season of the Spectre, the invading Scorpion, who is Hanzo Hasashi by the way, lost his wife in his timeline, and so he wished to find another Hirumi in a different timeline, but in every single one, Hirumi will tragically be killed. But eventually, he finally finds one where she survives. But she was wedded to Qi Liang. Then he becomes a Hanzo Scorpion stan, and wants to burn this entire timeline down. You defeat him, and Liu Kang wants to help him. He searches for another timeline. Is that Raiden holding a staff? And is that Kung Lao holding a fucking sword? Liu Kang found a timeline where Hirumi survived, but her Hanzo did not, turning her into Scorpion in that timeline. And so Liu Kang sends Scorpion over there.
It is not just Quan Chi who should fear these Scorpion's stings.
This is the best story in the entire Invasions mode, the most interesting premise, and the best ending. In Season of Blood Moon, an evil Nitara invades Liu Kang's timeline, and the Veternians have the ability to mind control people.
Oh god, Katana again? Really? Mind control again?
You defeat them, and Liu Kang finds a timeline where Veternians are good guys, and asks them to help revert the mind controlling. This might also be the Nitara you play as in chapter 15.
May we end this?
I find it very ironic that despite Liu Kang's Nitara constantly coming up with excuses as to why they need to eat people.
It's not our fault that we starve. Aid us or we will feed on Earthrealm.
Paternus' ways are unsustainable.
Only if we can't find more on whom to feed.
There does exist a universe where Veternians can be good, making our Nitara even more pathetic.
You could help Veternus but choose not to.
In Season of the Cryomancer, an evil Sub-Zero invades Liu Kang's timeline. Hey, it's Madame Bo. You defeat him. That's all. In Season of the Huntress, a Shang Tsung creates a Molina, with Katana's grace, Tarkatan's ferociousness, and the Sorcerer's intellect, creating the ultimate Molina. Molina kills her creator, and uses the flesh pits to create more Molinas. They show a bunch of awesome references, and now they're invading Liu Kang's timeline. You defeat them, but now the leftover clones have scattered to other timelines. A squadron with familiar faces travel around timelines to eradicate the rest of the Molinas. Honestly, this premise could make for a pretty fun horror shooter. In Season of Storms, a Dark Raiden who just found out about the multiverse wants to protect every single Earthrealm in every single timeline. TLDR, his plan will explode the universe, so we need to stop him. With the help of a bunch of awesome references, we purge the darkness out of Raiden. And though this Raiden wishes to reform himself and do good now, Liu Kang doesn't fully trust him, and so he banishes Raiden into the void. I find it very interesting that Liu Kang is fine redeeming Scorpion in Season 1, yet he banishes Raiden here. Perhaps his bias from MK9 is showing. In Season of the Reptile, goated name by the way, the Terrans have infiltrated Liu Kang's timeline, and they are playing Among Us, killing then pretending to be who they murdered.
We must find and finish these imposters quickly.
Also there's an Emperor Size-Off we need to take out. We defeat him, and Liu Kang was super pissed about this invasion, that he was going to go and eradicate the Zaterran's timeline. But then it turns out the new leader Queen Chameleon was pretty chill, so it's all good. Except for the fact that half the MK roster is dead now. In Season of the Soul Eater, this Shang Tsung has been cursed to soul suck tens of thousands of souls on a daily basis. And since he ran out of souls to suck in his timeline, he's now trying to soul suck in Liu Kang's timeline.
Can you eat souls?
He can also summon a giant snake.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Reptile's big snake. Oh my goodness.
You defeat him, and he tries to escape to the ruined city Sido, but he just ages rapidly and dies. In Season of the Dark Dragon, OG Liu Kang said that he did not want to become Keeper of Time, because it drove Chronica mad.
Being history's architect drove her mad.
Well, this Liu Kang did just that. He kept resetting the universe to make the perfect timeline, and so he went cuckoo, and now he wants to perfect our Liu Kang's timeline. We defeat him, and Liu Kang calls upon his Titan friends from the story mode, Titan Katana, Titan Kublai, and
that is not
Titan Raiden. They gather together to do a We Are Mortal Kombat pose, and cure Liu Kang of his insanity. So nice of you to do all this effort to save your own counterpart. By the way, how is that Raiden doing in the void? And that is all the storylines in Invasions mode. Overall, well, some of these seasons are mediocre and boring. Some of them were actually pretty fun and had interesting scenarios. I think these are harmless and fun what-if stories, and they will stay harmless and fun, as long as they aren't confirmed to be canon. Now I want to talk about one of my favorite things about this game. The secret character in Mortal Kombat 1.
Oh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
An update dropped in January 2025, where a secret fight can be activated. TLDR, you need to do 10 Floyd challenges to activate the secret fight, such as taunt 4 times. Get a double flawless on Reptile.
Nice!
Subscribe to Sonic RXD.
Okay, I got something.
I heard this one works pretty consistently. These Floyd challenges were supposed to take months to decipher, but the MK community got together and solved all 37 Floyd challenges within a week. And once you activate the 10 correct Floyd challenges, you get...
Oh, nice. Oh, shit!
Floyd is a pink ninja who is able to use every single MK ninja's abilities, including a couple of original moves. There's a theory that since Ed Boon said he wanted to put every male MK ninja into M1K, Floyd actually might be male chameleon. He copies the male ninja moves just like chameleon. Female chameleon used to have see-through skin, and now it's pure white. Male chameleon has see-through skin, and Floyd has pure white skin.
Suspicious.
Floyd is also a giant reference to the secret fight Reptile had in the first Mortal Kombat game. Reptile in that game was just a green ninja that could use fire and ice, so I'm sure if Floyd was ever turned into an official character, he would be given a complete overhaul just like Reptile did. Overall, I think Floyd is one of the coolest fighting game secrets that we as a community got together to solve, and that to me will always be a special moment that happened in this game. If you successfully defeat Floyd.
Fuck you, Floyd! That's it! That's it, it's over, it's over, it's over. My weekend is fucking done. That was it, that's all I wanted to do.
Look, he was very tough, and doing all the Floyd challenges twice took me a long time.
If I would have gotten him on the first try, like when I was on Liu Kang, I would have been screaming in happiness. This feels like revenge. I got my satisfaction revenge. I want to go into the fucking hook mod and perform every single fatality onto Floyd for what he made me do.
You unlock some pink palettes, banners, but most importantly, you unlock a secret stage. The field. This is a stage that was never meant to be official. It's not tournament legal. But man, is it a nice vibe. Just a field with tall grass. The interesting thing about this stage is that it's not a stage that shows up anywhere in the story mode. It's actually the field shown in the first Mortal Kombat 1 trailer. This is why I especially appreciate having this stage in the game, because NRS literally had no reason to give this to us, and yet they gave it to us as the reward for beating the secret challenger. On a side note, this stage would have gone so hard as the final boss arena. Maybe that's a little too cool for Mortal Kombat standards. Speaking of that first trailer, this is a perfect segue for me to get into my final character analysis. Let's do this one last time. Let's break it down. Liu Kang. This is the hardest character for me to analyze, and it would be so easy to just do nothing but make fun of him. But I want to give him a fair trial, so let's start from the beginning. Like, the actual beginning. How Liu Kang created this universe. He describes it like painting over an empty canvas.
To a blank canvas that I have painted in with warmth and peace.
I approached this blank canvas, painting over the darkness. I sketched out the realms. I brushed them in with life.
But this metaphor is too artsy-fartsy, so let me explain it more in Zoomer Brainter.
Let me put it in a language you can understand.
Minecraft. Liu Kang started a new world and creative mode, building his perfect world, installed some Mortal Kombat mods, then after all is said and done, turned on survival mode to join the fun. The reason I'm explaining the creation of the universe first is because this correlates to the two biggest criticisms on Liu Kang's character. The first one being that Liu Kang's universe sucks. He did a shit job with this new era. The changes he's made are worse compared to the previous timelines. And the second one is that it's all Liu Kang's fault. Everything bad that happens in the story is all because of Liu Kang. Now, I'm going to pull an MK9 Raiden situation and offend Liu Kang.
What? Why?
Let's start with point number 1. The common criticism I see about Mortal Kombat 1 is that the new universe sucks. Now I don't think this is a controversial opinion at all, but where I take issue with is when you lump Liu Kang's character into this conversation. People will unironically say that this is a character flaw for Liu Kang. Now you might be saying, since Liu Kang created the universe, that means all the changes are his fault. But actually, that statement isn't entirely true. Despite being the creator of the universe, he actually does have limits to his powers. Liu Kang was given the tools and an empty canvas to paint, but he still needed to follow the rules of painting to create the universe. With the Zoomer Minecraft analogy, Liu Kang can't just change Minecraft into GTA. He still needs to use the Minecraft engine to create his universe. If Liu Kang wanted to create a peaceful era,
all beings will have the opportunity to find peace.
Then why not just abolish everything evil? Remove death permanently. Remove combat in general. The reason is because those are rules that are above his jurisdiction.
As Time's Keeper, you could have abolished combat.
Even a Titan's power has limits.
Other angles to look at this is that Liu Kang admits he's not the best at his job.
My prior role was thrust upon me by circumstance. I am in no way divine.
Maybe if he restarted and tried more times, he could have made a better universe. But Liu Kang doesn't want to do that, cause he doesn't want to go mad like Kronika. Something else I should bring up is that not everything was caused because of Liu Kang. Such as Eternians turning into vampires.
Abandon vampirism, and the Turnus can be saved.
We will never change what we are.
King Jared's death.
I treasured the fellowship of both your parents.
Then why didn't you do more to save them?
Why did Jared have to die on my watch?
Do not presume that it was Liu Kang's design.
And Sindel's awful outfit, I think. But how about we change the conversation and talk about fates that we do know that are altered by Liu Kang, making Sindel queen of Outworld.
And you would rule Outworld firmly, but fairly.
Giving Shang Tsung and Quan Chi meaningless lives.
I gave the sorcerers meaningless lives.
Having Raiden being mortal.
Why was I made mortal?
If these changes are specifically done by Liu Kang, and if I don't like these changes, then is it okay for me to blame Liu Kang now? I suppose, but I still don't like this, and in my opinion, blaming Liu Kang hides the true culprit of the problem, the writers. Let me give an example here. I don't like Qi Liang being Scorpion and marrying Hirumi. So should I blame Liu Kang or the writers? Let's look at both perspectives. In the Mortal Kombat universe, it's heavily implied that the Spider-Verse canon event rules also work here. Kenshi will always be blinded. Molina will always be part Tarkatan. Reptile will always be the best character ever. And it's very heavily implied that if Hanzo Hasashi and Hirumi get together, they will die. So Liu Kang tried to alter fate and have Qi Liang and Hirumi get together so that their fates will be less tragic. Now let's look at this from the writer's perspective. Scorpion is now Qi Liang because new universe, new changes.
A number of these characters you've seen before, but they're told in a completely different story. Sub-Zero and Scorpion are brothers now, and there's all these things that were rivalries before are now allies, and so mixing the whole thing up.
Yay, overall. If you still want to blame Liu Kang for changes in this universe you don't like, that's perfectly fine. He is the one who made the changes after all. But in universe, I think it's completely justifiable. He is an almighty being who sees things very differently from mortals. His decisions may seem bad to us, but he is making these changes because he genuinely believes that it will benefit his peaceful era. The burden of blame should be put on the writers, and I don't like Liu Kang being their scapegoat.
They made Liu Kang their scapegoat.
Now on to point number 2. It's all Liu Kang's fault. He created all the villains in his timeline. So everything bad that happens in M1K is because of Liu Kang. This is just factually not true. Everything bad that happens in the story mode is all triggered because of Titan Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung and Quan Chi were groomed into powerful sorcerers because of Damashi. General Shao was influenced by Quan Kai's prophecy. Shang Tsung infiltrated Sindel's courts to stir conflict between Earthrealm and Outworld and forced Syzoth to work for him. Quan Chi brainwashed Ashura and her sisters, made deals with a couple of villains, and created Ermac. Shang Tsung manipulated the Lin Kuei to go against Liu Kang. And then a bunch of more stuff that I don't have time to talk about. Everything happens because of Titan Shang Tsung. If no one ever infiltrated Liu Kang's timeline, none of this would have happened. Everything would have still been in Liu Kang's plans. Another criticism that I've heard people say is that Liu Kang is the creator of the universe. Why can't he just solve everything with a snap of a finger? Did you even play the game? Liu Kang gave up his Keeper of Time powers to live among the mortals, and he presumes there's no way to get his powers back, and so he must use these limited powers, with limited information, to try and solve the crisis in his universe. And I'd say for the most part he does a decent job, except for the part where he loses to Dark Sindel. That's still embarrassing.
This is fucking embarrassing.
It wasn't until the end of chapter 12 did he find out that he can get his Keeper of Time powers back. Then when he finally gets it back in chapter 14, he is then instantly thrown into a fight with Titan Shang Tsung, someone that is his equal. So power level wise, everything in the story mode makes sense. I do have issues with Liu Kang being a Titan after the events of chapter 15, but we'll get into that later on. So in conclusion, I think that the changes in this new universe shouldn't be blamed onto Liu Kang. And it's not his fault for the bad things that happened in the story mode. So does that mean Liu Kang is a perfectly well written character in this story?
Wrong!
My personal biggest gripe with this character is something the story constantly tries to undermine. But it's a core aspect of Liu Kang's character. The darker side of Liu Kang. His godhood. This is the part of Liu Kang you barely see in the game, but the first trailer does the best job showcasing this, and unintentionally sums up exactly what kind of person Liu Kang actually is. The trailer starts with Liu Kang promoting his new peaceful universe.
This video is sponsored by My New Era.
There's a very key sentence he says in the trailer.
In my new era, the choice is yours.
Then he goes on to list the choices you are allowed to make in this new era. This message is reinforced again in the intro of the game.
All beings will have the opportunity to find peace. Whether or not they do will be their responsibility.
The freedom of choice is a core part of Liu Kang's new universe. Then Shang Tsung invades Liu Kang's timeline, kills all of his characters, and this pisses off Liu Kang. And here we see Liu Kang's almighty deity side appear.
You have chosen to defy peace.
Then you have chosen war with a god.
Then he executes Shang Tsung, as Liu Kang drops the title, to promote his new universe.
Thanks again to My New Era for sponsoring this video.
The message that I got out of the trailer was, the freedom of choice is yours. Just don't piss me off. There's a couple of other examples of Liu Kang showing his more stern godhood side. When Shu Jinko became too powerful for the realms, Liu Kang took his powers and memories away. Liu Kang locking Raiden to the void, because he deemed him to be too dangerous. After it's revealed that Liu Kang is the creator of the world, there's a lot of intro dialogues of characters reacting to this.
Joining up with you really has changed the arcs of our lives. Knowing Liu Kang's true role gives me pause.
Your trust in him is not misplaced.
I don't know how, but you made me even more perfect.
If only I had made you more humble.
But then there are intro dialogues, where characters show dissatisfaction to their creator.
Crafting a timeline is a complex endeavor.
So I should be quiet and not complain?
I cannot bring back your family, Tomas.
You can't, or you won't.
Why was being High Mage not enough?
You tell me. You gave me this ambition.
The most notable one is Tarkatan.
Father, Tribune, Merchant, yours is a life well lived.
It was until Tarkat took it from me. If you're a god, then cure me.
How could someone who wants a peaceful era create something so cruel?
Tarkat is a cruel fate, Geras.
No, Baraka, that the heavens await you.
Until then, must I suffer? Why does Liu Kang let good people suffer?
But it seems like Liu Kang has to make these hard decisions in order for the universe to go on. He sees things that mortals cannot comprehend.
As my creator, you're to blame for my affliction.
It was an unforeseen consequence, Baraka.
Did you intend for me to be orphaned?
Some threads must be cut to weave time's fabric.
You could tell me who murdered the Emperor.
To do so would disrupt the proper flow of history.
I find this side of Liu Kang to be very fascinating. And now I'd like to go deeper down this rabbit hole. While this may seem like a weird philosophical tangent,
why the thought experiment?
It's actually core to Liu Kang's character, and it reveals the truth behind his facade. Let's go back to the beginning. After Liu Kang created his new era, he gave his people the freedom of choice.
All beings will have the opportunity to find peace. Whether or not they do will be their responsibility.
In my new era, the choice is yours.
But is this actually true? During the entire story mode and history of his universe, he's been there and has been influencing the outcome of the world. Is this really free will for the people? Now there's an argument to be made that since Liu Kang gave up his Keeper of Time abilities and lives amongst the mortals, that he now also gets to reap the benefits of freedom of choice that he himself created. And I think that's a very fair point. However, after the events of Mortal Kombat 1, Liu Kang gets his Titan powers back. And what does he do afterwards? He continues to help Earthrealm and safeguard the realms.
I am simply shoring up our defenses. Kuai Liang has agreed to build a new clan. I must go aid his efforts.
Now this may seem fine to the average viewer, but there's already a contradiction to this, and it's the fact that Liu Kang is still participating in mortal affairs. This is all getting a bit theological, but hear me out. In chapter 3, General Shao talks about his distaste towards Liu Kang.
He herds us into compromises. Shackles our independence.
You would consign us to endless war.
Better that than be Liu Kang's lapdog.
This scene is treated as an evil monologue from General Shao. But is he wrong?
Was Shao right after all? Were you pulling our strings?
Liu Kang is actively influencing the world. That's not freedom of choice for the people. That's freedom of choice for yourself. He tries to help people. He tries to change the fate of characters. He tries to protect Earthrealm. But by doing so, he takes away the free will of the people, the culture and history they could have cultivated. Say what you want about the Elder Gods, but because they try their best not to intervene in mortal affairs, they are doing a better job of giving the people free will compared to Liu Kang. This dilemma Liu Kang has is one of the most interesting things about his character. Helping every wildlife animal you see, or letting Mother Nature run its course. Being good versus being God.
God is all powerful. He cannot be all good. And if he is all good, then he cannot be all powerful. And neither can you be.
With all this being said, I actually do have an answer to Liu Kang's dilemma. And we need to go back to that first trailer again.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
After Liu Kang defeats Shang Tsung, he has an expression of anger. Obviously he's pissed because his MK characters have been killed. But I don't think that's the real reasoning. I think the real reasoning why he's angry is because this isn't what he planned for his universe. This isn't what he wanted. Liu Kang claims that he gives the freedom of choice, but the truth is, he wants the people of his era to make decisions that appeal to him. He's happy when the Earthrealm fighters joined him, when he got to maintain peace with Sindel. But then when he hears about Shang Tsung, when he hears that sorcerer is trying to change his own fate, Liu Kang gets angry. The creator of the fucking universe gets angry. Liu Kang will happily allow people to carve their own path until it gets in the way of what he wants. The freedom of choice Liu Kang promised is an illusion.
Gods that deceive are capable of much worse.
It's ironic, you know. The dark version of Liu Kang in Invasions mode is evil. But at least he's honest with himself. He knows that he's god of his personal playground. But for our Liu Kang, I don't think he even knows that he's lying to himself. I think he genuinely believes that he's giving the people of his world free will. He's a Shaolin monk fighter who has been thrust into this position.
My prior role was thrust upon me by circumstance.
So of course he's going to be attached to his humanity. Of course he's going to want to do good. Liu Kang tries to be mortal, despite being a god.
God is tribal. God takes sides. No man in the sky intervened when I was a boy to deliver me from daddy's fist and abominations.
And is this really a bad thing? Is Liu Kang helping the side of light a bad thing? Is freedom of choice being fake a bad thing? I'll leave this question open-ended. What do you guys think? Should Liu Kang help mortal affairs, or should he allow mortals to prosper on their own? And now that I have explained this entire core aspect about Liu Kang, I finally get to talk about the thing I hate most about Liu Kang's character. And it's all thanks to Liu Kang's biggest fanboys, NRS themselves. Everything I just said in the last 15 minutes can be scrapped, because NRS tries its damnedest to hide all of that, because they want you to think that Liu Kang is the goodest goody good boy who ever gooded on this planet.
The greatest good you'll ever have!
And all moral issues of him being a god is tossed aside. This fucking sucks. All the interesting dilemmas Liu Kang has to face as creator of the universe, his motives, his choices, his sacrifices, all hidden. Because if they show too much of that in the story mode, that would mean Liu Kang is morally grey. So just don't think about it. It's our beloved Liu Kang that we all know and love from the previous games, but he's just now a bit more powerful. That's all. This is all. So, fucking boring. NRS just turned Liu Kang into a generic protagonist, and his struggles are just fighting against the ultimate evil. The thing that pisses me off the most is how they flaunt the prospect of his dark godhood side right in front of our eyes, but opted out of this to play it safe. We ain't got no time for Liu Kang's godhood dilemmas when we got to show more multiverse stories. NRS could have created one of the most interesting characters in the Mortal Kombat franchise, but instead, they just created Jesus Christ. And this is why Liu Kang is the hardest character for me to analyze. There is so many other angles I can approach this character, since basically everything in Mortal Kombat 1 can all connect back to Liu Kang. I had a great time analyzing Liu Kang's character, and I enjoy doing this more than just blaming everything I don't like about M1K onto him. And now it's time to end this all off with my final review of the story.
It's time to wrap this production.
If I had to use one word to describe my feelings for the story of Mortal Kombat 1, it would be disappointing.
Disappointing.
Not bad. Not anger. Not sad. Not suicide. Disappointing. Because in order for me to be disappointed, the game had to give me something to like first. And that's how I felt about the first half of the story. I really liked it. I liked seeing Kung Lao and Raiden's friendship. I like Madame Bo. I like Johnny Cage's fish out of water humor. I like the tournament. I like Li Mei's struggles. I like seeing good guy Sindel. I love Shang Tsung. I like the team up of Kung Lao, Johnny, Kenshi, Baraka, Saizoth and Ashura. I like the Johnny Kenshi bromance. I like seeing King Jared as Ermac. I like Geras. I like Floyd. I like the stages. I like the music. I never cared about Baraka in this entire franchise. And now he's one of my favorite characters because of the story mode. And after 30 years of Reptile never winning a fight, I was so happy to see him shine on the big screen. There's a reason why I did nothing but compliment Mortal Kombat in 2024. I really like the first 7 chapters. I would even go as far as to say that the first half of M1K is my favorite written story NRS has ever done. So imagine my disappointment with the second half of the story mode. People say it goes downhill from the multiverse twist, but I think it starts going bad from chapter 8. The Lin Kui conflict was bad and predictable. The royal family stuff was long and boring. Then we get plot armor Molina, who can beat everyone. And then the multiverse reveal happens, forever tarnishing this franchise. There's a great quote from the legendary Jenny Nicholson.
I think the worst thing a franchise can do is make you feel kind of stupid and embarrassed for being so excited about it in the first place.
What's the point of getting invested in this new universe if the multiverse exists? Should I look forward to anything that was set up in the arcade endings? Or are they just going to shove more multiverse slop down our throats? I honestly feel dirty. Part of me feels embarrassed for ever liking this game. Why did I waste my time making videos complimenting this game back in 2024? If it just leads to this. I've heard some people say that Mortal Kombat 1 is the worst story mode NRS has ever made. And as much as I want to rebuttal that statement, I can't. Because Mortal Kombat 1, objectively, sucks. So, is that it? Is that how I'm going to end this? No. I don't like this. I don't like this ending. Let me say something a bit more personal. I hate Mortal Kombat 11 story mode. But more importantly, I don't think I particularly liked anything about it. Even scenes that are objectively good. I don't feel particularly special about it. And I'm not attached to anyone in this game. I think my favorite character in the story mode was Jade.
Why?
That's how low the bar was. But I can't say the same about Mortal Kombat 1. Even if M1K sucks, and even if it's on par with MK11, I still liked it. I genuinely have things that I love in Mortal Kombat 1. And even if I can't ignore the stuff that I hate, I don't want to abandon the stuff that I love. Men's lives have meaning, not their deaths. So I choose to hold on to the things that I love. I choose to take my favorite things out of this sinking ship. And even if Mortal Kombat 1, objectively, sucks, I want to close the book on this chapter, trying to like Mortal Kombat 1.
I'm trying to make this emotional speech, and you just had to come in and ruin it, you fuck!
Hey everybody, thank you all so much for watching the finale to my Mortal Kombat 1 Sucks series. I'm finally done. I'm finally free. Just ignore that, expansion on the other side. Just ignore that. Just ignore that. I really tried to shorten this video down, but I just somehow still made this into like a 100-minute video. I don't know. I don't know why this happened. I did try cutting out some stuff. I did try cutting out some fluff, but I felt like everything here was justified. I felt like everything that I was saying here had a reason for staying. And I put so much time and effort into this one video. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Just a little shout out here and there. Thanks to all the people who showed their fan arts of Sub-Zero when I asked for that on Twitter. Thanks to all the artworks that I've been using in this video, whether it be the artists from BK Hag, Alan McCree, Alex DeHel, and all other people that I know. And also thanks to the Force Snake for that absolute banger skit that he made for me. Again, I just asked him for the green screen, and he basically made that video. He sent that video to me.
This guy, oh, this guy's not up for that anymore. This guy's a piece of shit. I hate this guy. I'm going to stop doing these skits for him. He thinks he's so cool because he's got a Fortnite creator code and gets all this money from all this this guy. Fuck you, Sonic. I'm not doing this again. I quit. I'm kidding. I love you, really.
Dude, thank you, but man, you put so much effort into that skit, man. Oh, and I would really appreciate it if you guys check out the merch. I spent a lot of time behind the scenes working on that stuff. It's filled with tons of references of memes that have been around on this channel throughout the years. I'm just very happy with how it turned out. And most importantly, I'm gonna have a good banner art for my channel finally. So thanks again to Gala McCree for that awesome artwork. And if you're interested, go check out the new merch shop. Oh, and thank you all so much for the wonderful support from my last video where I talked about how my entire channel got copyright claimed. I appreciate all the love and support you guys gave me. I really appreciated the warm comments you guys gave me. Thank you all so much. Anyways, like I said earlier, I'm not done yet. I still got Chaos Reigns I gotta talk about, so I'm gonna go straight to working on that right now. I gotta get that out before the friggin' Mortal Kombat 2 movie comes out. And I really hope, and I'm telling this to myself, can we not do an hour, please, Sonic XD? Can we not surpass that 1 hour mark? And I'm saying this to myself, and I kind of know that expansion is like 3 hours, so something tells me I'm gonna reach an hour. But I hope I'm gonna have a lot of fun. Looking forward to diving deep into that pile of mess known as the worst DLC in Mortal Kombat history. Anyways, there's gonna be one more video next week. Then after that, I'm just gonna work hard on the Chaos Reigns video. So, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye! And now, back to this multiversal crap. I'm getting sucked in. Something's happening.